And up. Hey. Welcome to another Ramble Radio.
But it's video.
Guess what? Also radio. Sponsored by Grape.
Grape. Sponsored by Grape.
I'm comedian Jerry Rocha.
Eddie Pence.
We're not alone. Naked Cody. Naked Cody.
You know, I was thinking about this.
Yep.
You know, what's the difference between grape and great?
Nothing.
One letter.
I would say
one letter
no
and you move
different.
some stuff around.
And that's it.
That's it.
Grape is the best fucking flavor
Grape
of
is
anything.
great.
I mean,
turn that P into a T.
Cody's got this revolution going. He's starting this underground resistance.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's not even underground. It's you guys are patently wrong.
You are
the vocal minority.
No, you know what? We're the rebels. We're starting. I don't mind. I don't mind being the rebels.
I don't mind being the guys outside.
Yeah. Who's the coolest? Which lightsaber is the coolest out of anybody in Star Wars?
Purple one?
Mace Windu, I would think. Yeah.
One.
Why is that purple? Because it's purple.
Because it combines. It's a little red and it's a little blue.
It's
Makes
grape.
It purple.
It's grape. It's a grape lightsaber. Would you be tempted to lick Mace Windu's lightsaber?
I would.
I would
that's
too.
my first instinct.
I would
think
think that looks delicious.
Yeah.
That looks delicious.
Yeah.
See? But Cody and some of the Ramblers, look, we did like 10 minutes of this, and there was nothing being recorded.
No.
We believe that's a conspiracy.
We got 7 minutes into this video.
And nothing.
And you looked over.
And it wasn't recording.
recorded. But you hit record.
I hit record. Cody and the Ramblers who are on
trying
this,
to stop
they're
this.
trying to stop us. And then Andrea frickin' says, once you're 7, you grow out of liking grape.
That doesn't
So
make
you
any
counted
God.
brilliantly.
What do you grow into?
Right. Yeah. Oh, I got hair on my balls. I guess I'm going to orange.
I'm big into cherry now.
Yeah. Fuck out of here. Fuck out.
You don't grow out of grape. Best flavor Gatorade?
Fierce grape.
Fierce grape.
Why? How did Vince Carter beat that Velociraptor in the commercial?
Fierce grape
It's a
Gatorade.
Fierce grape.
If
What
he had
it
that
was
fucking orange shit, dead.
Gutted.
Done.
Gutted. By the way, thank you to Trent Unruh.
We've got Bush.
We got Bush.
We've
for
got
the t-shirt.
Bush.
Thank you, Rambler.
That is a
Trent
beauty.
Unruh, for the Booger We Got Bush
That is a
t-shirt.
beauty.
Here we are. How delicious was that grape 5 Hour
So
Energy?
good. This went down smooth.
They'll never sponsor us because of Dex, but
No.
they
Dex has ruined a lot for this shit.
yes, there's no way we're getting any kind of sponsor.
Sponsor
It's
at all.
okay though. We're not here for that.
No, we're
We're
not.
here-
That's probably why the Marvel Legends guys won't sponsor us either.
Right. We used to be here to connect with our listeners. Now we're here to let everyone know that grape is the best.
Yeah.
It's the answer.
We put
No.
everybody on warning.
It is.
I mean, look.
do we
if
have
you
to
look,
just mute him?
Could
look
you?
at the evidence,
God.
you see not an insignificant volume of people who completely agree with me and who think the
Right.
both of you
But-
are insane.
But Obamagate was trending
Yeah.
a week ago on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't mean it's true.
Next week you're gonna be what? Flat Earthers next?
Just because
you know
something's
what?
trending doesn't mean it's true.
You know what? Here's I won't say it, but I bet Eddie feels like Cody and all the Ramblers when they talk about what they prefer over grape. I
Right.
bet Eddie, if I'm not mistaken, would you then is your sentiment that of Alex Trebek when that woman told him about nerd hip hop and he just said so losers.
So losers.
Right. Is that what is that?
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. So losers.
Dude, he assassinated
took
an
her out.
entire genre of music.
Oh.
In one
Just Lee
sentence.
Harvey Oswald, that fucking whole situation. Just fucking just
Imagine all the people who had any of that nerdcore shit on their iTunes. How
Done.
quick they deleted it the minute they saw that clip. Oh
So
fuck!
losers. just took her out.
Oh fuck! I mean, Jesus Christ!
Fuck, man.
That was just a up close kill. I mean, Jesus, brutal.
Shotgun blast to the face.
Right there, shotgun blast her. That
To
was
live
it.
and die in L.A. Just bam!
Boom.
Done.
Oh, what a great ending.
Great ending.
Man, what a great. Cody's never seen that, I bet. Have you
never
seen
saw
To Live and Die in L.A., Cody?
I haven't seen that, no.
Like William Friedkin classic.
Yeah.
Underrated
That's the first
William
movie I
Friedkin
remember where
movie.
the hero gets killed at the end.
Well, there you go, Cody. Don't need to see it.
Look, it's old. It's an old movie. I don't feel bad for that one because
You know-
it's 1980 what?
Six or
6,
something?
85, 86.
The funniest thing about that movie, it's a great, gritty crime movie, right, Cody, where Willem Dafoe is a counterfeiter and William Peterson is the cop trying to stop him.
Yeah.
And it's got such over the top violence. That great car chase where he goes through against traffic on the 405,
Yes.
and the weirdest thing about it is the soundtrack is all Wang Chung. That is a weird thing about the movie. Like there's a sit dance all day long.
But you don't mind it. You love it.
I love it. I mean, I like Wang Chung.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're
I like
okay.
2 hours of Wang Chung.
I could listen to 2 hours of Wang Chung. Could you see him live?
Yeah, I guess.
I think Cody,
I
could you
probably
go
could.
sit through a Wang Chung concert?
I may tap out after like 15 minutes or so. Like you're like, I get it. Like 2 to 3 songs into it. I don't think you need to watch the whole thing.
I don't know.
I heard they
man.
spray grape Gatorade on everybody.
Everyone.
Show.
Oh, then it's the best
yeah.
show ever.
It's the
Best
of all
show
time.
ever.
They just hit you in the face with grape Gatorade.
Man, you know what? Tonight, I know it'll already have aired, but I'm going to make a bold prediction.
What?
That the final episodes of The Last Dance, what powered Jordan through was grape Gatorade. That's what I'm going to go.
I wouldn't be
ahead and-
surprised.
I mean, he'll probably.
I
say
would
it.
not be surprised.
He'll probably say it. Can we talk about The Last Dance?
That's
real
what they
quick?
gave him. Remember his flu game where he
Yes,
was doing that?
grape Gatorade.
They just an IV of grape Gatorade in the back.
That's
That's true. That's true.
I believe you.
That's true.
Our Rambler, Zach Dahlem, had a very interesting point about The Last Dance.
Yeah.
You know, Zach works in the medical field.
Yeah. He's an essential worker.
He's very worried,
Yes.
Zach, about Jordan's yellow eyes. He goes, that's 1,000% liver damage.
Oh, yeah.
Like those old man yellow eyes, that is.
I had a when I used to bartend in Santa Monica when I first moved out here, there was a guy who was a bartender with me,
Yeah.
and he had like yellow eye, but he drank all the time.
Jesus.
He had a promising young actor. He was actually in the very first the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. He had a
Oh, really?
small part in that.
Wow.
And like he had a big.
Was it Willem Dafoe?
It was Willem Dafoe.
Wow. Oh, no.
We bartended together in the early 2000s, the late 90s.
Oh, fuck.
But he had a recurring role in Felicity. Like he was booking all this
Jesus.
work, and he just fucking drank his way out of the business
Wow.
because you couldn't.
Wouldn't you think that's your.
You would think, but when you are addicted,
Addiction's
it's
addiction.
an addiction. And he had
Jesus.
the yellow eyes.
Really? And a young man.
At a
I
young,
bet.
yeah, in his
Jesus
late 20s,
Christ.
early 30s.
Cody, his eyes, it's like urine. That's how much
Yeah,
Cody drinks.
you
It's
can't even
bad.
see the eyes anymore.
I
It's
feel
all
bad.
yellow.
I don't like
Yeah.
hanging out with him.
Well,
It's tough.
You should drink some more grape Gatorade.
It
That
would clear him out.
that would clear him
It
out.
would clear him the fuck out.
I
why
put it in my
some guys
car
are like
when my car's not running well. I just dump some grape Gatorade in it.
Zips.
Put in the radiator, you're fine.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck
How
yeah,
could
dude.
you not do that? Can we talk about the Last Dance again? I wonder if tonight they're going to do the greatest trash talk in NBA history. They
Are
probably
you
have
caught
to.
up, Jerry?
No, I still got to watch the last two.
God damn, man. It's such a funny thing to watch that like Jordan will find the smallest thing about you and use it to destroy
Oh
you.
my god, he
It's
made up the
fucking-
LeBradford Smith thing.
Yes.
What was the LeBradford Smith thing?
That was my buddy Vince would tell this story. He was telling this story 20 years ago, and they mention it in The Last Dance. So LeBradford Smith was a Washington Bullet.
Yeah.
And they played the Bulls in the regular season, and LeBradford Smith put up like 36
Yeah.
in the game.
His rookie year.
His rookie year, and they beat the Bulls. It was one of those rare regular season games where the next game they played each other again.
Yeah.
Jordan put up 36 in the first half on the guy, and nothing happened. The kid just had a great game.
Well, no. So the story was that LeBradford saw MJ after the game
Yes.
and was like, "Nice game, Mike," and then Jordan took that and
His
then used it as
motivation.
fuel.
Like, fuck this kid for fucking with me. And then you find out the kid never said that to him. He just made that up in his head so he could have an excuse to bury the guy the next night. Just like,
I mean,
okay.
as great as Jordan was, what an unbearable person to be around. Like, could you imagine being around that person? Could you imagine being that person?
The weird part is like
So
even Steve Kerr,
unbearable.
even Steve Kerr has this weird Stepford wife. Like, he made us a better player.
I mean,
they all have. Like,
If you're on the team with him, you don't have to like him, but he got you a bunch of rings.
got you a bunch of rings. He made us better.
Right.
Like
And
that.
then he got to go to San Antonio and enjoy his championship.
Right, like he had fun.
Yes.
You could tell he was having fun
Yes.
in San Antonio. Like that's
Those were championships won with fun.
With fun
And a little
times.
bit of strictness with Popovich. Of course, it's Popovich, but
yeah,
still.
but that's
you weren't
the
under
coach should
you weren't
be
under the thumb of
the
Jordan.
coach should be the asshole. I
Yes.
could not imagine Tim Duncan losing to Christian Leitner in a ping pong game in the Olympics and then firing the paddle at his head and flipping the table. Like, I couldn't
Well,
imagine.
that's why Tim Duncan only has 5 rings.
Not 6.
Not 6.
I mean,
He'd have 6 if he did that.
well, according to a lot of can we piss off Cody? He really only has 4. Come on. Let's asterisk that first.
Oh my god.
Hey,
That's
look,
what it feels like with Grape. You fuck with Grape, you get the horns. You fuck with Grape, you get the horns.
The
Look,
Spurs
if-
only won 4 championships.
If anything, like Tim Duncan is like the grape flavor of every like the stability, like the thing that everyone generally likes. He is the grape flavor of the NBA.
You're bringing this back.
history.
You're bringing this back, Cody. You're bringing this back.
Also,
around a little bit.
also Shaq was fucking salty about being ranked lower than Tim Duncan on
He
that
was.
He
list.
should be ranked
Pissed.
lower than Tim Duncan.
He should be. I would take.
Shaq was dominant, but didn't have the skill set of Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan has more rings.
Tim Duncan had a very Shaq has a very underrated ball handling skill set. However, if you had to give me one, I go Tim Duncan. If I'm only allowed to pick one of those guys to start my team,
If you're starting a team, I think I would between those two guys, I
Tim
would probably
Duncan.
I might take Shaq.
I don't know.
I think Tim Duncan is the better overall player, and I think history will eventually prove that. But I
Yeah.
think Shaq in his prime for that like 5-year run,
amazing,
he was dominant.
unstoppable.
You couldn't stop him.
Unstoppable. But
Once Olajuwon faded away,
it was it.
he was the
That was
dominant big man in the sport.
But Tim Duncan beat him. I mean,
Yeah.
Tim Duncan was one of the few teams that could hang with the Lakers and hold their own with them.
Yeah, true.
And it was sadly it wasn't because David Robinson was almost washed up at that point, not completely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he was not the same.
But you still had 2 7-footers on the court.
yes, that
at
always
the time.
helps. That always helps.
When the Spurs won that first championship, you had 2 7-footers on
Twin
the court.
Towers, yeah.
You couldn't. I mean, no one could compete with that. And the way basketball was played then,
Yes, there's no way.
you were still playing half court basketball. 2 7-footers.
Look at how who was it? That's how what's his face, Phil Jackson destroyed Dwight Howard. He just sucked Gasol and
Yeah.
the other guy on it. Was it Bynum at the time? I
Yeah.
forgot who it
Might-
was.
it was
Or might have been
Bynum or
Odom.
Odom or Bynum.
He just sucked both those guys on
You have
Dwight
2
Howard.
7-footers on the back then. If you had 2 7-footers on the floor,
Oh,
you
God.
won.
You were gonna win the game.
You just won.
You were gonna win.
You were in the NBA Finals.
Man.
Now, no,
No.
because it's a different game.
You know,
they're-
one thing I noticed watching The Last Dance is how many like giant white guys the Bulls had
Bill
in the
Wennington,
90s.
the great Bill Wennington.
Bill Wennington.
Who was the other guy? Luke Longley.
Luke Longley, and then
oh God, there was another one too. Shit.
we had Will Purdue.
Will Purdue.
Who was
Will-
the guy with the beard?
Bill Wennington was.
Was that Bill Wennington?
Yeah,
with the beard.
Bill
Luke Longley,
Wennington
and
had
then,
the beard.
Will Purdue was before them.
Yes,
he was the
and
first 2
then it was
championships.
those. Now, what? Okay, do they talk about the greatest trash talk ever with Scottie Pippen and Malone in these last 2 episodes?
I mean, they're airing tonight, so
You haven't seen them.
I mean, I hope they do. I haven't
Yes.
seen them yet. Yeah.
You don't want to talk about, right?
Yeah. But the male doesn't.
God,
yeah.
how perfect is that? What a way to destroy a dude's life. I mean, that is because you're thinking at the time the mailman is the best nickname. What a nickname!
always delivers.
because he always delivers. Cody, you heard the story, right?
Yeah.
And then fucking he just went to those who haven't heard. Fucking Malone is about to take very crucial free throws
Yeah.
on a Sunday
On a Sunday.
game. And Pippen and Malone, remember this, automatic free throw shooter.
Yeah.
He had that stupid ritual where he would talk to the basketball. He would take and
It
always.
was like
would make
him
them.
and Havit or Horsack. What was his
Jeff
name?
Hornacek.
He always do this thing.
Yep.
Just
This
fucking
thing.
wipe his face.
And then shoot. And then as he's doing it, Scottie Pippen just walks up and says, "Mailman don't deliver on Sunday," and he clanks both of them. And you're like, "Oh, that's right." He just destroyed.
Do you think that fucked with him in his head, or you think that made him laugh and it distracted him?
Oh, it fucked with him. It had to have fucked with him. That guy, it had to have fucked with him. It was Jesus. I mean, and then you find out what a piece of shit Karl Malone was,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't feel bad
No,
at all.
I never liked
You're
Karl
like,
Malone.
all right, fuck
I
him.
never liked
I
Karl
mean, they
Malone.
were so dirty anyway. That
I hated
Jazz
Karl
team.
Malone.
Fuck, they were so
That fucking
dirty.
pick and roll, I hated that fucking
with the
pick and roll.
fucking throwing elbows on the way him and fucking Stockton.
I hated that pick and
Dude,
roll.
knocked David Robinson unconscious.
That's right.
Yeah.
Knocked Isaiah Thomas. Had to put 40 stitches on Isaiah
Well, I
Thomas.
don't mind that because Isaiah Thomas is the dick, so I don't care about that.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Come on, Tommy.
Oh god damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's time though.
Dex. We were talking about a documentary about
Yeah.
the Last Dance, about the dynasty that was the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
On your home planet, is there a sports legend
Oh.
that you can compare
that's
to
a
a Michael Jordan?
We're ignoring the recall on bantha meat. To ease any concerns, I know just how to prepare it. A few extra spices, and the queefings of a freshly deflowered virgin. All right. Well, there we go. Okay.
All right. That wasn't even fucking
Jesus Christ.
queefings
The queefings.
of a recently deflowered.
Virgin, this fucking asshole. Our band leader, piece of shit. Doc Severinsen never said any of this.
No.
Did he on The Tonight Show?
Doc Severinsen would play music first.
Yes.
And two, he would answer the question
He
asked
would
to
answer
him
the question asked to him. Think Doc Severinsen got pussy?
all the time. He probably got the most pussy about anybody at the
Anyone
Tonight
at The
Show.
Tonight
Anybody
Show.
at the Tonight Show.
More than Carson, more than McMahon.
Yes.
Doc
He's
Severinsen.
the musician, dude. Fucking
With
let
that mustache.
His name's Doc.
With that
that
fucking,
mustache.
all that pussy juice in that mustache.
You think those three dudes, Carson, Doc, and Ed McMahon, would just like fucking hit up a bar after the show
just mop up?
and just mop up? just fucking triple team a girl. Just plug all the holes. I mean, she'd want it. It's all consensual, of course.
Because
Because you're not going to say no to those guys.
I think Doc Severinsen seals it.
I think so, too.
So if they're on the fence,
You bring in Doc, he closes the deal. Ed and Carson are sitting there trying to talk this girl into like a three-way.
Right.
And then she's like,
She's like,
no, you guys are old.
and Doc walks up.
Yeah,
This
because
is
I'm talking like late 80s, early 90s.
Right,
Like
the end.
when they didn't give a fuck. And then Doc comes in and
Mops
she's like,
up.
three-way.
Give him that poo name.
Four-way. Just
Four-way. Eight-way.
Just
With
plug all the
band.
holes.
Let's all get in there.
Let us all go in.
Jesus Christ. I think we,
That's earned.
I don't know if we made
I
it
wasn't
any
expecting that
better or
discussion.
worse than what Dex did, but there it is. Well, there we go. Thank you for watching another Ramble Radio.
Would you watch that over top of fucking what's-his-face's blowjob scene?
Dave Campos?
Dave Campos' blowjob scene? If you had a choice between those two videos you had to watch, Dave Campo getting the
That's funny.
flaccid Dave Campo getting
That's funnier. Flaccid Campos funnier.
Then Doc, Johnny Carson, and McMahon triple teaming a girl.
Because they're into it. Flaccid Dave Campo.
He's not into
no.
it. He's just doing it for
He's
Jerry.
thinking about his wife.
He's just doing it for Jerry.
His Catholicism is just
He
going to
doesn't want to do it.
plummeting. He's doing it for the.
But the Tonight Show trio are into it. They're fucking running that train.
They all
They just set an egg timer so they know when to switch.
they all look like when Bilbo turns demonic when he's trying to grab the ring. Like, they have that
Just
fucking
ding, and then they just rotate.
that rapid. Well, there we go. Thank you for tuning into another Ramble Radio. But
It's a video.
it's also radio.
Okay.
Please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, follow us, all that good
fuck.
shit. Cody, where can everybody find you?
Cinesnob Cody on Twitter, and then I have a ridiculous amount of podcasts to plug here.
Oh.
So I have the Cinesnob podcast. That is a podcast where we review the weekly VOD. These days only VOD
Yeah.
releases. ReMCU, where we talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Veterans right here.
Yeah. No,
Orange
not yet.
Stream.
Veterans
Oh, yeah.
of Corn Stream.
Oh yeah, veterans. Yes.
Veterans of Corn Stream. Corn
Highest
Stream.
rated Corn Stream podcast
Right.
of all time.
Fuck
Hell yeah. So that's where we're talking to people in the comedy world about what it's like being in quarantine and being a comedian during that time. This week we have Sean Donnelly,
Okay.
New York comedian, host of Celebrate on Sirius XM. And then I have a new show adding on to that. If
Whoa.
you're a fan
Is this
of
the Anti-Grape podcast?
That's what
Yes.
it is. Isn't it? That motherfucker.
Just a fucking hour of anti-grape talk every week.
He roped us into this.
Fuck.
That's a much better idea than what it actually is. So if you're a music fan, and in particular if you're a metal fan,
Oh,
I have a new
metal.
podcast called Medium Fidelity. It's actually called Glide Magazine's Medium Fidelity.
Okay.
It's a podcast where me and my friend James from Glide Magazine interview musicians who are either touring or have an album coming out. A kind of relaxed vibe interview
great.
session. So first episode, we have Nick DeSalvo. He's the guitarist for a band called Elder.
Okay.
That's a fucking badass. They started off as being like a stoner metal band, and then have like they've evolved into being like this psychedelic progressive metal, like heavy Pink Floyd type vibe.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that's
I'm
cool.
into that.
Yeah, so they're super great, and then Nick talks to us for our first episode. So yeah,
That's great.
Check it out.
Fuck yeah, check it out.
Do
Eddie,
it.
5 days a week.
5 days a week, patreon.com, The Ralph Report.
Boom.
You can catch me. We do Swings and Misses radio. Swings and Misses episodes Monday and Friday. We're doing Swing Break until the furlough's over on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And we should be back to our regular schedule June 1st at radio.com.
Boom. Me every Monday as a smug nerd. You can find me. Also every Thursday, Retro Rocha on YouTube. I talk old video games. Check that out.
Yeah.
And then every night during quarantine, I'll be on Twitch, twitch.tv/Retro Rocha. Thank you all for tuning in. We love you guys. We'll see you Friday. And tomorrow for the regular
That's
Ramble.
right.
Bye.